Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin' John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019. Well folks, here we are again. WWE fans recently started a hashtag Give WWE Women a Chance campaign on Twitter. The hashtag ended up reaching the #1 trend for a brief period in the United States. Fans brought up a lack of a second Evolution pay-per-view event as well as the overall state of the division. Here's a couple of tweets that I'd like to read from the Give WWE Women a Chance hashtag. Nerd Girl tweeted, "We did it. Hashtag Give WWE Women a Chance is trending #1. Don't stop tweeting until WWE Women have seen it." Star tweeted, "Give them storylines outside of a title. Give them longer than 3 minutes of screen time. Give them equality to do their dream at any pay-per-view. Give the legends their time in the spotlight. Give them respect for their tag division. Hashtag Give WWE Women a Chance." Mercedes tweeted, "How did we go from being at the pinnacle of women's wrestling to short backstage segments and 0 women matches on Monday Night Raw tonight? The women deserve better and we do as well. Hashtag Give WWE Women a Chance. Hashtag Women's Wrestling. Keep tweeting, we need to make this trend again." And Risa tweeted, "All jokes aside, it breaks my heart seeing the way the women are treated weekly. I've been trying to come up with why I felt so distant from wrestling lately, and I genuinely think it is due to this. I think back to last year and how in love I was with what the women were accomplishing from the Women's Rumble to Evolution. There was a fire lit under that division and a drive from every woman in the back. Every single one knew how important the Women's Revolution was to every girl who has ever been a wrestling fan. Since this past WrestleMania, it seems as though they were like, we gave you what you wanted and ditched the entire thing. It hasn't been the same since. As a wrestling fan, it pains me to know how much passion, time, and strength these ladies have just to be given a 5-minute match, if that. I really would love to see that fire come back." Now, normally, as you know, I don't really comment on a lot of things in pro wrestling, but I have to agree with this. You know, ever since WrestleMania, it seems as though the women's division doesn't really feel as strong as what it was during that women's revolution that was going on. And that really surprises me, and that really shocks me. Because if you look at pretty much everybody that has won in the main event of WrestleMania, they have went on to have a pretty damn good push. And some of them even went on to become the face of WWE. You know, you had Hulk Hogan. You had the Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage. You had Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, The Rock, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins. That torch was supposed to be passed to Becky Lynch to become the face of WWE. And don't get me wrong, she is in the main event spot, and she is super popular, and she is super big, no doubt. But she deserves to be the face of that company. She won the main event of WrestleMania. She beat Charlotte Flair. She beat Ronda Rousey. 2 women that are exceptionally talented, absolutely amazing in the ring. She beat them. She should be the main face of the company. John Cena, I respect what John Cena has done, and there is no doubt in my mind that nobody will ever hold the candle that John Cena has had for so long. But it's time to give that candle to someone else. Cena even said himself that he's thinking about retiring. Give that to Becky Lynch. She was in the main event. She won the main event of WrestleMania. And here she is on a 2-minute segment. Didn't even get a match last night. No woman got a match last night. Seth Rollins, her boyfriend, was on Miz TV and then had a match and had D-Generation X hanging out with him. And all Becky Lynch got was a talk show segment with Alexa Bliss and Natalya and Nikki Cross. Like, seriously? It makes no sense to me. If you want to go and you want to lose your female fan base to All Elite Wrestling and all these other promotions, this is the way that you do it, WWE. And I love everything that you have done so far with the women's division. But when you go and you have Becky Lynch beat Becky 2 belts, she loses one of those belts to Charlotte, she retains it against Lacey Evans, and then you make this relationship storyline that a good portion of people don't really care for, but there are some out there, and if you do, that's fine. But the majority don't really like it. And I really hate to say it, but not a whole lot of people cared about that Extreme Rules main event with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins taking on Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. not a lot of people liked it. You know, and so that's the thing. Usually the winner of the main event of WrestleMania goes on to have an amazing push and amazing storylines lined out for him for the rest of the year. And why ain't they doing this with Becky Lynch? Because so far, they haven't really done it. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. They haven't. And I'm not completely crapping all over WWE. I love what WWE has done, like I said, for the women's division. Ever since back in 2016, whenever they started the Give Divas a Chance hashtag on Twitter, because the Bellas had a 3-minute match out there on Raw. Ever since that happened, I love what they done with it. It was incredible. But WWE, and you don't have to listen to me, because I'm just some guy on the internet that loves pro wrestling, and has loved it ever since he was a kid. But WWE, you don't need to revert back to the way that it used to be for the women. You don't need to do that. Because if you do that, Cody and his friends in Jacksonville are going to go and they're going to one-up you by outdoing your women's division with theirs. You need to keep treating the women right. And for the past couple of weeks, I have noticed that myself, that the women's division doesn't really feel as strong as what it was after that WrestleMania main event. And that is not where we need to go. A couple of months ago, Triple H got on television on Monday Night Raw, and he said that the fans had complete power. All the decisions were going to be made by the fans. They were going to listen more to the fans. I don't care if Triple H was in kayfabe or not out there in the ring. He said it. So, with that being said, you said it. You said you was going to listen to your fans, WWE. Here is the biggest challenge to prove that you are going to keep that promise. Keep doing the women's division right. And for the love of God, stop this Seth Rollins-Becky Lynch couple storyline and give Becky Lynch a really damn good storyline. Thank you. Let's move on to something else, shall we? Twitter account @WrestleFeatures noted the following about the WWE 24/7 title coming off the Raw Reunion special from last night. WrestleFeatures tweeted, "Some facts on the 24/7 title. Since its inception, there have been 29 different reigns. R-Truth is now a 10-time champ. Kelly Kelly is the first female to hold the title, and Jinder Mahal holds the shortest reign record at just 11 seconds. I think that's when he lost it on the golf course to R-Truth, or I think he was sleeping on the plane going over to Saudi Arabia. I can't really remember." Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com noted the following regarding why Psycho Sid did not appear on the Raw Reunion special as advertised. Meltzer said, "Sid Vicious had actually pulled out several days ago, but you know how this goes, they just keep advertising him anyway." Thanks to RingsideNews.com for the quote. Last night's WWE RAW Reunion drew 3.93 million viewers, which was a solid increase from last week's 2.453 million viewers. Here were the hourly numbers. Hour number 1, 3.19 million. Hour number 2, 3.178 million. And hour number 3, 3.83 million. Tom Collahue of Sportskeeda.com noted the following about WWE and Finn Balor. Tom Collahue tweeted, "The feeling I get is that the Demon King is viewed as marketable, but the ordinary Finn Balor isn't. That's why they keep trying to force nicknames and gimmicks onto him." That's what a WWE source told Tom Collahue. Last night's Raw Reunion special had several rewrites on Monday afternoon due to talents and legends not being cleared to do anything physical. As previously noted, a segment with Ricochet had to be changed because Ricochet developed an elbow infection. The rewrites reportedly took place at the last minute. Meltzer noted the following regarding Rikishi not being cleared to do anything physical at the Raw Reunion. Dave Meltzer said, "Rikishi wasn't cleared, but that wasn't a big deal. But Rikishi was supposed to do a stink face on Devon and the Revival, and I don't know what it is where you can't get cleared to do a stink face. But he was not cleared to do a stink face." WWE also did a Phantom title change with the 24/7 title because Pat Patterson was unable to even lay down for a pinfall. Thanks to RingsideNews.com for the quote. With Alicia Fox being featured on last night's Raw Reunion graphic with legends and alumni, fans have been speculating about her status with WWE. Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com noted the following regarding Fox. Meltzer said, "Evidently, Alicia Fox is no longer an active wrestler. She was in every segment. I mean, she hasn't wrestled in months, but they never formally released her. So maybe the idea is like, because they never release anyone, so I guess the idea maybe is that she's not going to wrestle anymore, but she's still under contract. She was very clearly not a member of the active roster. She was out there at the end of the show on the ramp with only the legends. She was a legend here on this show. Thanks to Sportskeeda.com for the quote. In a post-Raw reunion interview, Rob Van Dam commented on his surprise appearance and how it was super cool, and there's nothing like performing in front of a WWE crowd. I really loved seeing Rob Van Dam out there last night on the Raw reunion special. You know, I know he's with Impact Wrestling, but it's really cool that Impact Wrestling cleared him to be on this special. I always love seeing RVD. According to Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com, Seth Rollins replaced Ricochet in the segment with the Click due to Ricochet having that elbow infection that I talked about earlier. Here's what Meltzer noted, courtesy of RingsideNews.com. Ricochet has an elbow infection, so the whole spot that Seth did with AJ Styles, that was all Ricochet. The whole idea of the DX thing, and again, I don't know if this was a Paul Heyman idea, but I know that Ricochet is one of his projects, and I know the idea for the show was for the show. One of the big ideas was that Ricochet gets a big rub in the end from DX, where they endorse him and they say he's the next big thing. That is what the segment was supposed to be. In a video posted by WWE, Kevin Owens said that he will put his career on the line at SummerSlam if Shane McMahon faces him in a match. Owens said, "Quite frankly, I can't take it anymore. It makes me sick. Makes me want to throw up. I just can't take it anymore. I can't take it. So how about this? You make this match at SummerSlam, Shane, and if you beat me, I'll quit. I'll leave." The following press release was sent out today from Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, a subsidiary of Anthem Sports Entertainment and one of the world's largest professional wrestling organizations, announced today it has renewed and expanded the scope of its agreement with Twitch, one of the world's largest live stream and video platforms, which includes the weekly premiere of the flagship 2-hour show Impact, streaming on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The renewal will include the production of more exclusive content on the Twitch platform, that is twitch.tv/Impact Wrestling, including original weekly programming, pre- and post-shows, live monthly specials, weekly airings of Explosion, which features never-before-seen matches, IRL, first-person streams, and much more. To support Twitch's development of its co-streaming features, Impact Wrestling will facilitate co-streaming of the weekly flagship show and will be announcing details of a contest featuring co-streamers in the near future. Since debuting in the weekly premiere of Impact on Twitch this past January, we have been committed to growing the passionate professional wrestling community on the platform, and the response has been overwhelmingly positive, said Ed Normholm, Executive Vice President of Anthem Sports Entertainment and President of Impact Wrestling. "We have grown our subscriber and follower bases significantly, while spreading our reach to new audiences. With our increased slate of exclusive content hosted by the likes of Melissa Santos, Don Callis, and top Impact Wrestling stars, fans have been able to interact with our larger-than-life personalities like never before. Impact Wrestling has quickly established itself as a leading wrestling channel on our platform," said Jane Whedon, Director of Business Development at Twitch. "We are excited by the potential to expand on the content delivered by Impact Wrestling to the Twitch community, and their commitment to delivering live, shared, interactive, and entertaining experiences for our audiences. Impact showcases top professional wrestling stars such as Impact World Champion Brian Cage, plus Rob Van Dam, Moose, Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan, Rich Swann, Michael Elgin, the High Flying X Division, and the Knockouts, including champion Ty Valkyrie, Tessa Blanchard, Rosemary, and Sue Young. Since its inception in 2002, Impact has been a leading destination for professional wrestling fans, televised globally in 120 countries, while growing its popularity and reach on YouTube, Twitch, Pluto TV, and social media platforms." And finally, here on Jammin John's Wrestling News, it is now time for the results of our latest special subscriber poll. That poll being on July 17th, and that poll was, "Are you tired of the Seth Rollins/Becky Lynch couple storyline?" And with 3 votes, it's a unanimous yes. Couple of comments from our Patreon subscribers here. Ryan Hurdle commented and said, "I hate it whenever they make real-life couples a storyline." And Tony Nelson commented and said, "I'm not a fan. I feel like it pigeonholes the superstars and creates a dangerous dynamic if they don't stay together, while at the same time creating possible relationship stress with the attention. I like knowing who is with who behind the scenes, but during the show, I just want the superstars for who they are." Well said words from my Patreon subscribers. let's go ahead and look at the latest special subscriber poll. That poll being, what do you grade the Raw reunion? Did you think it was awesome, good, bad, or monkey crap? You can go vote right now at patreon.com/JamminJohn if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, what are you doing with your life? Go to patreon.com/JamminJohn right now to subscribe to me. I would like to go over the packages that I have on my Patreon with you, if you'd like to be interested in subscribing to me. The first package is the Bart package. That is $3. You get access to the Patreon-only polls, with the results being announced on JJWN as a special subscriber poll, and a shout-out for donating at the end of every daily update. The Smart package, which is $5, you get access to the polls, the shout-out, and the ability to ask me any pro wrestling question for answering right here on JJWN. And then finally we have our Jobber package, which is $7, which gets you access to the polls, the shout-out, the ability to ask me any pro wrestling question, and the latest episode of JJWN will be uploaded along with a download link so that you can listen at any time. If you're interested in supporting me a little bit financially, and I would really appreciate it if you did, you can go to patreon.com/JamminJohn. That is your news for Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin' John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, and Player FM. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin' John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin' John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, want to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/JamminJohn. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/JamminJohn. This is Jammin' John saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.